Alright, hello, potential VOD watchers. Well, I just do a little streaming session to kind of show the start of Chapter 6 development. Right here I've kind of listed out the scene order on a notepad file. And I think we'll do a little short stream kind of implementing the first scene, where we have a conversation between Grayson and Laura Zaya? I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name, but I think the Japanese like Loraize. Yeah, it's Serenez. So, yeah. Thing and a Paragon. The chapter module. Kind of started at the FE9 script for my first chapter, but really you can start anywhere. That would leave us at 4. Really all this is kind of arbitrary, what number it is. It's really just this ID number that's important for which chapter you're actually on. And let's just make sure this all looks good. This map right here, it really doesn't matter when it comes to the map that you load in, because you do that all in the script. But if you watch a tutorial in the middle of battle, it will kind of, at the end of the tutorial, it will say, this is the place we should warp you back into, and end up on map 24. And so in order to not do that, actually put the proper map, like in chapter 2, map 06, to do. I think I'm not going to be using trial 3, but that's at least the idea. Like in chapter 5, I was using the second trial map, but there seemed to be a little bit of errors that would happen whenever you saved the game. And it was a trial map. I couldn't really figure it out, but I just ended up renaming it to 12 arbitrarily. I'll probably end up renaming this at some music. We'll decide on that later. Win condition. It's gonna be escape. We could figure out how to do that. So go into common file. Put it over here. Use Illumina. Convert it. Never actually seen the common message file. Be a miss and common. Convert it to a YAML, but it's also nested within system.cmp, and that's the one that it usually reads a bit more data. But I kind of just put a copy of that in the random folder. Maybe I put it here. Take a look. And we can see all the win conditions here. W. Kind of a quicker way to put all of them without translating them. So it looks like escape is this. Copy that. Lose condition. Really don't know what unknown 3 is. Alright, this already is, I do believe it is the base screen. You're doing base preps, background. Don't know any kanji, but I can at least read that this is Dane. So yeah, what I used for the base preps. Probably find the proper one to use later, but actually I could probably find it in scripts. I use the end of chapter 5 to use those RID. Oh, it's pretty. And F complete. Yeah, it's this one. It's kind of like a dungeon looking thing. Use that for now. If you don't know, chapter 6 is going to be in some crypts. So that vibe. So if you promote while you're in base, it kind of wants to know what it should put in the 3D background. Or a crypt setting. They just kind of look around, see which one would be appropriate. That's other ones. I know there's one that's called rooms. Probably, yeah. Probably be good enough. And no sky. RID2. What is this again? Game. Well. What kind of forest? And some kind of gate. I remember this one. This is gate. Like a random room, I'm pretty sure. I'll figure out this later. Alright, this should be pretty good for capture stuff. So, oh yeah, I didn't need to. Alrighty, so at this point, I guess we can start working in the actual script. So, we're going to do it before. It's the good old script module, and it'll bring you to this script editor. And I'm going to be working in 24. So the first thing that loads when you start a chapter is the opening 0. The startup function is used just to declare a bunch of flags in this instance. Yeah, it's not really in order. So we're just kind of replacing stuff. And I'll probably just end up deleting a lot of this. I'm going to use it in different ways, like this random method. But yeah, opening 0, it's not the first on the top of the script, but it is going to be the first thing that actually called. And we're going to actually put the talk event there. Establishing shot. So my understanding of this part is something about when they're in development, is like if you're playing from the beginning, and then there's some printf statement that kind of gives information about who's in the party and stuff like that. Join is used to like make units join from the always dispo, but we don't need this. So we got some music fading in and a talk event. That's the vanilla, but we do need an establishing shot. And I usually just find where I used it before and kind of insert it. So let's look in these. Scripting, always good to look at what the original did. But for here, I'm just going to look at what I did before. Okay, this is the chapter movie. We're loading maps here. I did either. Yeah. I do. built, it's moved. Yeah, we show a banner here. We load a map. I'm not gonna load a map. But pretty sure this will accomplish what we want because this is Naki is played kind of like the cathedral kind of organ music. When this is chapter 2. Where when you're streaming your IQ goes down like another place that's a little bit less. Yeah, this is the different one. Ah, yeah, so this is Dane of the Dane Keep being shown. I'm pretty sure I grabbed this the background from Rain Dawn. I had to replace something else. None of this says Dane, you know, in the Japanese, but I think we can use this code. Sent. I want to keep any of this. Probably not. Alright. We need to decide on. Okay, but this is gonna be Serenaz. There's some tracks called Forest. Kind of ominous. I remember using this in chapter 2. What about the Heron tracks? Definitely don't want to overuse tracks. Pretty decent. Grayson kind of has this serious talk with his father. This one sounds kind of serious, but also that kind of harp motif. Like this one. Yeah, we'll probably use that. Now, what I was looking at was this. This is what it's called in the older file system, but when you call it script, it does take. Sure, there's a good way to figure that out. Here we go. We've got all these different SEM files. Actually, a version of Audacity that can be used to actually listen to them. But there's a bin file that kind of tells you what you should actually call. Like here we have this BGM EVT FE9. Not going to match exactly what it says over here. So I'm pretty sure I converted it, but you can drag this bin file in Lumina and convert it to a text file. Actually, cool. And it was all right. So yeah, gonna be Heron 1, Heron track, EVT. Play. Comeback is a function that says if the player press start and they're skipping through stuff, actually resume here. And good idea to put this at the beginning of different sections. Wait for 150 game ticks. Fade from black Weight F. Not frame. It doesn't mean frames. It's not one frame, but usually used after fading. So it could be like not fade weight. That is a function, but yeah, one. I'm not exactly what it is, but I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's a lot at this point. Keep it there, and we want to build this background. I actually went through and figured out what background I wanted. This one. You see this kanji, see the kanji for tree kind of like 3 times. Winter forest. That one at least. Ugh, but you had not already figured out the background you want to use. You could just bring up the game and get the gecko code for a debug mode. Enter a battle. Press, I think it's B and Z together to debug mode. To visualize dialog background. Look through dialog backgrounds. When you want, screenshot it. Get ChatGPT or your favorite AI to transcribe what that Japanese is because it's not easily copy and pastable. It's just kind of displaying on the screen. It's pretty cool when you look at the cool representations of backgrounds, is that some of them will have animated components. See, going through. Like one of them had snow. There. This one has like a sandstorm thing. Manipulate it. I was wondering if I should use this maybe for like a base. I mean, it doesn't really feel like it could, or when this was used, but quite appropriate. Kind of just like, yeah, this was the rainy dawn, Dane Keep, night and times. Yeah, some of these are just yeah, I'm gonna use this in this chapter. Kind of this was for rainy dawn as well, and I edited it a bit to make it a bit darker. Yeah, I'll be done. This one. When you're actually implementing dialogue and use this hash B, where you would put the background. Here it doesn't say RID, but when you put in the script, let's say, and there. So it builds it, kind of its background, then it sets it at a certain offset 250. I'm not 100% sure what these parameters are, but it works. That's all I know. Rec move offset. So this one kind of fades it black. Maybe it's set curve. I'm rusty on these two because usually these kind of establishing shots, they're all very similar. They just fade from black. They scroll from right to left for a little bit, and then it shows this banner. And this banner does here, yeah. I'll put this in. Yeah, that one was for day and keep. I've used many times for this hack because they're often at day and keep. But this one is going to be, you actually have one for Serenez. Of course, making your own hack, edit it here. Or, yeah, like Misscale, not Prado. 2, and this, but entries that Alright, and background is completed. Once the talk starts, talk for some reason. Alright. Why does it say? Oh, because I copied it. You know, I said that the numbers are kind of arbitrary to like what script you're working in, but if you're working in the script for 24, it's gonna only look at the mess file for, or pretty sure you can't load from other message files when you're not in that chapter. So that is something you're gonna have to do, organize it in that way. So we are already typed it up already. So 1, but I think 0, 0. I was working. Yeah, Anna comes in at the beginning and explains that really this should all be an ancient language whenever Raisin's talking to his father, but so the audience actually knows what they're talking about. Yeah, I happen to already format this, but in the future I'll just, in case some people like to look at it. But yeah, I've got a lot of time at work sometimes during breaks, so yep, so conversation that we're calling. We'll need to look at it in game if, because it's hard for me to tell exactly facing the background. File this. Convert it from YAML back into .im so that the game can actually read it. And I compiled the script in the output folder, Paragon. Copy it to the root file that I'm actually. Sure. All right. Fix. Cool thing about having the debug mode is that press game all the way to clear map, you can quickly make it to the next map. Save. Pretty sure it's not going to throw an error. Fixed all those. Alright, yes, there it is. And we got this background. I wish this was animated. Okay, I think I got the wrong background. Ah, yeah. That's what it is. When I was working on it in work, I didn't have access to all the names of the background, so I'll have to change that. But at least look, spacing. Should be a comma there. Comma, and we take wait. Yeah, spacing issue there. all in the frame. We need a line break here. And then, yeah, entirely we'll have to move. Alright, that should work. I really don't like how it does this, but yeah. Don't really use AI for this. Alright. Alright, yep. Language. Whenever it's an ancient language, it's kind of just kind of encapsulated by this particular command, which is a little hard to remember. So, yeah. I guess the 1 could be the start, 2 could be the ending, and then for some reason it's 2 here, and it's 1 here, but yeah, just one of those things you remember. And I should be smiling here. Here's a good example of the smile command. I don't really use it much, but yeah, it's FS. After you kind of declare which portrait you're talking about. So here we go, it loads in. And smiling. Guess we should. Unknown. Yeah, okay. Another thing that I didn't fix whenever I was actually at work is I wrote racing, but of course it's going to be his internal name, which is Ryujan. That was right. Let me just look at the character. Cool. Name. But we can still see the spacing. Yep, Raphael's been taken. Got this portrait that I just made. Probably more details into it later, but okay, I think I made an acre here. Yeah. Be a money sign that will clear and a paragraph. And it looks like, here we go, people kind of are. Get to the next line. I like this music. Alright, yeah, spacing looks good there. I'm not skipping through it because I'm kind of paying attention if I actually did the weight commands properly. Yep, looks good. We can bring it to script direction. Search of a plot point. Move this line. All right, that. Yeah, you can't even see God because it's off screen, but if it goes too far off screen, it'll actually crash. But it wasn't that bad. Mm-hmm. Yep, it's hard to get it right the first time. Yep, I had not changes from system to MP, so we're still gonna have this. This. At the end. Alright, so the background. Yeah. Background is actually kind of declared right here. I will leave that. And thing that I did. Oh, actually, I already. And I believe this one is not the full screen version. It's gonna be the like 2/3 screen. This background conversations obviously have that dialogue box at the bottom. That I think that should be enough. Testing. Yeah, I guess I've got to change the course. Okay, figured out what the chapter is going to be called. It's going to be this Greek term. That's a basis, I think. I don't know what it was, but yeah, like the hero's journey, delving into the underworld. Oh, I guess I didn't catch that. He's here. Oh, and entirely in. Was I paying attention before? You know, the ancient language seems each word is started with a capital, so they all look very distinct from capitalized letters. Kind of seems a little empty whenever Anna leaves and person comes in. So I think it'd be better actually if we had a um like a flap sound effect inserted there. Kind of seemed like he comes in a hurry, even flies there and transforms. Good place. That. Uh-huh. Right here, actually. means that it will go to the script and start running the code directly underneath talk event. Yep, so talk event directly underneath, running this all the way until it goes to talk resume. And we'll go back to the remaining dialogue. Okay, so I do know in chapter 5 I do this for speaker's father opening. Search for torch. Ah, here we go. Yeah, this bird fly one. Alright, so that should sound off for recent enters. Then you don't need to put in the code for like command for continue here, because it will just be recent starting to talk. All this script, this, convert it back into .m. But file. Okay, there you go. Yeah, so we can see this capital T kind of makes this G looking character, which really is, I'm pretty sure, how it's rendered in game. You have this capital on every word. Look a certain way. Yeah, we hear the sound effect. Make sure the spacing is correct. Actually, I haven't worked out who told Racing, but someone that's really brave, I guess. It was this. All right, yeah, looks good. Oh, I did want to. We got the right background. Actually, need save Paragon and transfer system.cmp. Every time you do system.cmp, transfer it over, unpack it, and put the edited comment file. That's why I leave it up here. You need to put it in the mess folder, because for some reason Paragon likes to override it back to the vanilla. I don't know why. And if you've edited FE8 anom.bin, it's tool. Well, of course, repack it. Probably the most tedious thing about making changes to the system.cmp, which most of these modules, like chapters, characters, classes, items, gotta do this every. Yeah, it's not bad. All right. And I can press B to get through this. And yeah, we got this. Kind of sounds like it should be a different music, right? A little too cheery. But yeah, it is this kind of dungeon. Let's see, do I want to do anything else? I would implement this next one, but don't have the miss a portrait at making this off stream. Yeah, I'll implement that. Probably do this bettering. And honor. But yeah, thought I just who can be awarded for prosperity.